Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to Untitled. My name is Kirioth and this is the Crew Beta, which I've been playing over the last couple of days. This is my car. It is very similar to the one I have in real life in that it's black, has 4 wheels and 2 doors. My car does not have a V8, it's a Vauxhall Astra, and as such they're really nothing alike. But a man can dream, can he not? A man can dream. So I've been playing the Crew and I've been really enjoying it, but there are a few things that have been bugging me, and there have also been a few things that have really impressed me. So I thought that, although it's in beta, I know some of this stuff is subject to change, but the stuff that I'm picking up on, I don't think will change in any meaningful way. So I thought I'd just go through a little list of, like, I guess pros and cons of the game if you're thinking about getting it, but have not yet actually played the beta at all. So, we'll start with the negatives, because, you know, it's nice to end on a high note, isn't it? And one of the negatives that I have is the story. Now, I don't particularly like stories in racing games anyway, because I kind of feel they're a bit superfluous. But you would be hard-pressed to find, like, a more cliche reason for anything in this game happening than the story that they've given it. It is really not. It's just a bit disappointing, frankly, because driving a car fast down a road in the name of revenge is just... I can't even tell you how boring that is. It's just not good, and I don't think they're going to be changing that between now and release, frankly, because, well, what would they change it to? Would they rewrite all the lines, re-record everything? It seems very unlikely. If you've seen the latest the only Need for Speed film that came out a while back, then just imagine that story, and that's pretty much it, actually. Just imagine that story. It's just all done for vengeance, and, you know, you're working for the police, except no one knows you're working for the police, and blah blah blah. Undercover vengeance story, etc. I don't really feel like it actually adds anything to the game. All it does is introduce various annoying people who will not shut the fuck up whilst you're trying to race, and their stupid face will appear on the right hand side of your screen just as you come to a corner that is really quite vital because you actually want to win, but they're too busy telling you you're doing well for you to actually concentrate on what's going on in front of you. Yeah, not great. Not the highest point of the game. Another thing that has been really bugging me, and again, it's probably going to sound small, but I think it has quite a big impact on how you, you know, just how well you perceive games like this. Shut up, Zoe. And that's the UI, which is just a really weird choice of UI. Now, I understand they probably don't want to go down the same route as Assassin's Creed and Watch Dogs again, because that would mean that every Ubisoft game had exactly the same UI, but I don't understand where this kind of DeviantArt paintbrush set rammed into Photoshop look has come from. It doesn't really suit the aesthetic of the game, to be honest with you. And it doesn't actually suit other elements of its own UI, like the speedo down there. It looks alright, but what's with, like, the grimy, gritty stuff around the edge of it? It just doesn't really... It doesn't add anything. I think they could have done a lot better with something nice and clean, as opposed to this kind of grungy... you know, dirt down the back of every letter kind of look they've gone for. I know it's only a small thing, but it's something that kind of detracts from when I'm driving. Like when I get little notifications up, it just kind of takes away from the overall feel of the game. Because other than that, the look of the game is absolutely... I mean, I really like the way it looks. I mean, yeah, it's not really pushing the boundaries of next-gen tech or anything like that, but the models on the cars are really nice. Just the general kind of... I guess the way they've laid it out is the important thing. Like, these roads with these trees, and you'll have gaps where you'll see fields and the sun will be setting over them. It's just a really... It's a very clever environment that they've made. I haven't found anywhere I've looked at it and gone, oh, that looks a bit shit. It all looks quite nice, which is quite an achievement, really, when you think about it. There's not many games where you'll be either driving or wandering round for God knows how many hours, and you won't look at something and go, that looks a bit off. Whereas this kind of feels like a living, breathing world, which is, again, really nice. It adds a lot, especially when you're doing free roam like this. Now, I'm currently on my way to get my dirt spec car, because that'll give me a chance to show one of the things that I really like about this game off. But driving also is a good opportunity to show some things I like, so... Oh no, sorry, no, there's one more negative. Just one more negative that I'm going to have to share with you. That is collisions, which are really, really odd. What the hell is that car doing? What the... Okay, I've honestly never seen that before. Never seen that before at all. That is really odd. God, that's mental. I don't know why they're doing that. Beta, put it down to beta. So yeah, the collisions can be a bit off. Like, you can go to ram someone, and you'll kind of teleport to the side. That guy actually decided to swerve into me instead. Let me see if I can... You better do it now, game, now that I've said it. Yeah, do you see what I mean? Did you see that? Please tell me you saw that. Rammed him kind of central, but it kind of teleported me to the right. Now, it does that with a lot of things. It does it with cars, it does it with railings, it does it with buildings, trees, and I can kind of understand why it's there if it's intentional. Because if it's intentional, then I assume it's to kind of be forgiving on little slip-ups you might make during races, and mean that you don't get taken out by a NPC vehicle. On the other hand, if you make a mistake and ram an NPC vehicle, you deserve to lose the race, because that's how races work. So, if it's intentional, I can kind of see why they've done it, but I don't agree with it. If it's not intentional, hopefully that means it'll be fixed. What the hell, game? That was a bit of a weird waypoint, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure that wasn't a legal manoeuvre. So yeah, the collisions are a bit off. I'm hoping they change that, because it just feels very strange, because you'll either kind of knock into the back of someone, and I'll be honest, I've done it intentionally quite a few times, just, you know, for the hell of it. And sometimes you will teleport slightly to the right or the left and kind of miss them but get a scrape down the side of your car. Other times you will hit them and it will fucking wipe you out. In fact, let's see if I can get a wipe out. Nope. Nope, no, it's just teleporting me. Oh, God. That looked painful. I seem to have... Oh, no, there he is. I thought I'd wiped him off the face of the map. So, yeah, sometimes you get an absolute mental wipeout and it'll just kill you dead. Other times, it's fine and you just get teleported to the side. A little bit strange. I don't really like it. I'm hoping it's something that's changed for release. Oh, and of course, the other negative is currently this is locked to 30 frames a second. They are aiming for 60 frames a second. What the hell? I've already covered that in another video. I suggest you go and watch it if you haven't already. Although you probably have. Yeah, probably. Because you're a winner and you love Unit Lost, so of course you have. I seem to have lost control of my whale.
Got some people out there.
Shut up, Zoe. Shut your mouth. I really should turn her off, but I keep forgetting to. So, those are the negatives. On to the positives. I really like the way this is presented. Like, see, so I mean that. I bounced off that railing. I mean, that was obviously my own terrible driving, but I just phased through that car. I'm really hoping that changes. So the positives. I really like the visual style of this game. Apart from the UI, I think it just looks really nice. I know it's not the best looking game ever made, but the weather system is really nice. I love the way that it changes very fluidly from day to night. Like, there's proper sunrises and sunsets going on, which is a really nice thing to see when you're driving around like this. I think the environment's been really well done. I like the density of traffic, and it adds an extra element of difficulty, but... Nailed it. And it makes it feel real without being irritating. Like, it's very rare that you're driving around and you're like, why the hell is there so much traffic? It's kind of, it's at that nice sweet spot where it's enough to be realistic, but not enough to impact negatively on, frankly, when you want to go racing around like a mental. As I say, the environments are all really good. The car models for the player cars are really nice. Like, I really, really like them. Just all in all, it's a thing of beauty, this car. And of course I've changed it up a bit. I've added some stuff to it. You can change the visual style of the car as well, and you can add like stickers and decals, and you know, you can change the wheels up, all that kind of thing, which is, you know, oh, I didn't realise that was turning off when it was. That was gash. So yeah, I mean, visually I do really like the game, mostly. There's just little things that I don't like. Driving whilst talking is surprisingly difficult, but I'm going to carry on because I want to show you something. Hopefully I'll get there, like, quickly, because otherwise this video could go on for bloody ages. But yeah, the races as well. The races are really nicely done. There are some frustrating moments that I've found where it's like, you cannot complete this race until you've got your car to a certain level. Now, I've only experienced one of these so far, and it was irritating just because... like, it felt very arbitrary. Ah, there we go. We're here. It felt very arbitrary. It's like, well, your car's not level 5, so you can't do this. Which I found a bit irritating, because when I did the race anyway, which you can do, I lost, which was fine, but then I came back at level 5 having achieved, like, nothing. Like, the part that I got wasn't really any different to the part that I had before in my car, and suddenly I could win, which just felt very off. Come on, enter location. Yeah. But, you know, I guess that's just a forced way of doing progression, so I guess it's not a big thing, it just kind of breaks immersion a little bit, where it's like, oh, well, you're just not at a high enough level. It just feels a bit odd. One of the things I really like about this game, though, is this, which is the car tuner. That's a giant seaplane. Okay, fine, fair enough. So, at the moment, I've got a street spec car, which I really like the look of, because I do. So, I'm now going to get a dirt spec car. Yes. So that'll now drive away, and these... I just really like this, basically. I know it's a very mundane thing to do, to swap out car parts one for another, but I really like the way they've done it. They've made it look really, just really interesting. And when you go and change the visual look of your car as well, I mean, at the moment I haven't unlocked anything, but you get this really nice chassis system where you can see everything that's going on under the body of the car. And I know it's only an arcade racer, so it's like, well, why would you care about that? But it's just a nice touch, you know. It's just a nice thing to see, basically. So it kind of applies as well to when you're changing the look of the car. So if I change it through, you can see like under the front of the bumper, which is, it's just a nice touch. It's just a nice little thing to do. It kind of adds a little something to the whole... Whoa, that looks mental. Oh, now what looks best? I'm going to go for that. Also, this is a complete waste of money, and it makes no difference to what your car does. I just like doing it. Yeah, again, it's just... you can kind of see the detail as it moves away and moves back in. You can see the chassis underneath. It's just a really nice touch. But this game kind of feels kind of full of that kind of thing. Just nice little touches here and there. What's the difference between those? Oh, yeah, okay, I'll go for that. I bet I don't have any. Oh, I do. Awesome. Side mirrors. Okay. Right. I hadn't got this far before. We'll go for that. I mean, as you can see, it's just nice. It's a really nice kind of, I guess, addition to it. And of course, you got all these crazy stickers and stuff, which I can't buy because apparently it's like 45 grand for a flag. God knows what's going on there. Flaming, God's sake. So, I mean, that's one of the things I really like about this game. It's very interactive, even in the smallest things you do. It'd be very easy to make tuning your car and changing the appearance boring, but they've managed to avoid that. Oh, and I forget to mention, the sound design, I really like it. I really like the way the cars in this game sound. They sound... I don't know whether they sound like 100% real, but they sound how they look. So, like, your big muscle cars have got a nice kind of V8 rumble to them. Your smaller cars... I say smaller, European tuners have got, you know, it fits, everything fits the car that you're in, which is only a small thing, but an important thing. Oh, can I not, go on, let me, yes, there we go. And of course you can burn out, which is important, for whatever reason, it just is. So yeah, now I've got this dirt spec car, I'd better go and do some races in it, but you might have to wait for another video for that, because this has gone on for quite some time. But this is like hopefully this is like helpful, because this is just a brief overview of the crew. It's the good, the bad. Some of this stuff you'll have watched and you think, well, Kiri, I don't see why that's such a big deal, and that's fine. But this is stuff that kind of struck me as I've been playing it, and I know it's only in beta and things are subject to change, but it's not in early beta, it's not in alpha. This is the second beta that it's gone through, so a lot of the stuff that I've talked about will still be in the final release, and hopefully some of the stuff will be fixed before final release. Hopefully, you've just enjoyed the video as a whole. I'm now going to go off and win big and absolutely pimp out this dirt spec car because it looks solid. And I'll see you next time, people. Toodaloo!